Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap homework session for Thursday, May the 8th, 2014. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator for Quantum Leap. We are a private organization. We have a private Skype room that's been in existence coming up on 5 years, and we have a group of traders. We are a self-organized learning environment, just a group of retail traders helping retail traders. Each morning we come together and come into this go-to, and I take a look at the market and start with the macro to the micro, and then we set our trade levels and our hypotheses up for the day with our targets. If you're watching this on YouTube, we do go through a routine of the macro to the micro. You might want to skip ahead. We are preparing ourselves for trading, so we don't skip the routine. We go through the key numbers, then we go through the macro to micro, and then we get into some more in-depth analysis with the charts. So you can certainly skip ahead, but we can't. So before we get going, my contact information, if you want to email me, is d.mckay@stealthtrader.com, and of course my Skype address is Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. If you want to get more information about what we do and what our group is, just send me an email or send me a contact request. Before we do anything, I've got to get the disclaimer out of the way, so let's do that. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. Only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves the risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence and your own trade plan. Okay, so we're running late this morning. So I'm not even going to go through what we did yesterday, but basically we were looking for a range going down to 55.25. We went to 54.50, I think was low, and then we reversed off of that, and our upside target was 75, and we hit 75 going into the end of the market. So it was a pretty good hypothesis. We looked for a rotational day. I stuck on after the homework session yesterday morning and basically looked for the clues that the option gives us, and before I left I said we're looking at a rotational day, and that's exactly what we got. So let's go right to the key numbers and let's take a look at it. We're currently, what are we currently trading? Sorry, I forgot to look at that. We are currently trading 69.75. There's your FUBAR, Mr. Sneaky, get long. You've got to get funded before 70.50, but you should get a rotation up towards 73 while I'm talking. So let's take a look at numbers. We are trading 69. Oh, don't need that open. Of course, the big number below us is 1837.75, our year high, and the key number above us is 1892.50. Our month open is 1879.50. We're 10 points below that. Our month high is 1886, and our month low is 1854.50 that we put in yesterday. Nothing else really jumps out at me on the macro, so let's take a look at the intraday. Yesterday opened up at 64, and the Globex had a high at 71.50 and a low at 61. And then we opened auction in range and in value yesterday at 1868.75. We had an open auction in range. We had a 4.25 point opening swing, with the high being 71.50 and low being 67.25. So looking at your clues on what the auction was telling us in terms of vertical development or horizontal development, we opened auction in range versus the normal neutral extreme day before us. We were in value. We had a wide opening swing on the market on open orders, and we had a 17-point initial balance. That were all the clues that you needed, besides the fact that we closed above and below the VWAP, that we were going to get a rotational day, and we certainly did that. Huge initial balance, 71.50 to 54.50, almost set the range for the RTH, except late in the afternoon we got that big run up to what was the high at 75.75. Our intraday numbers, kind of mixed bag there. 66.50 for the 12:30. This is Central Time. 75.75 for the high. 54.50 for the low, and we closed at 74.25. And again, we had a second day of a lower VPOC, and that VPOC was right at the battle zone, which we were talking was the line in the sand, which is kind of a slush zone for us yesterday, but for long it was 68.25, and for short it was between 66.25 and 67.50 because of the fact that we had that Globex LVN at I think the Globex LVN was 67.50, and the LVN from yesterday was 66.25, whichever it was. I think it was reverse of that, but it was a beautiful double distribution setup, and we were able to trade it very well yesterday and make lots of money. Our 20-day ATR ranges: 19.30 in the full session, 17, just over 17.25 in the RTH, and 9.50 in the Globex. Our value area was lower again at 71 for the high and 61, a perfect 10-point handle in terms of our value area. And then we broke the IB to the high side late outside of both the pockets at 10.56 Central. Volume was heavy yesterday at 1.7 in the RTH and 1.9, just under 2 million in the Globex. We did have unemployment claims that gives a little bit of a wiggle here at 7:30. We have Tarillo speaking at 8:30. That's Central, so 9:30 Eastern, and then we have natural gas at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern, and then we've got the 30-year bond. We had the 10-year bond yesterday. We have the 30-year bond today, and then you got some headline risk in terms of Ukraine and what's going on, but I think everybody's not paying attention to that because Russia now owns Crimea. Anyway, our 20-day ATR session so far, using the Globex high and low, 76.50, 68. Our targets are 87.25 and to the upside, and 57.25 to the downside. Let's take a quick look at what the macro to the micro trends look like. We start with the monthly. The monthly trend, this is a 9 EMA right here. This is a 20 SMA here. These are the two moving averages I use to gauge the trend in a couple of studies that I do. But overall, we've got good slope, good separation, trading inside the distribution, between the high and, the open and the close from last month. And trend is very much intact on the monthly. On the weekly, again, I keep sounding like a broken record. We've got a possible head and shoulder set up here right now. We don't know. We do, have the weekly holding above the 9 and the 20. We've got a little bit of slope. We've got separation. The trend is still upwards on the weekly. On the daily, different story. It's just chop. We've got consolidation and this rotation with inside the balance area, but we are holding above the 9 and the 20, but we do not have slope. We do have separation, but it is sideways. Nothing that it's going to tell us, in terms of the chart. Looking at the geometric chart, nothing really here to watch. We've broken out right now. What I would be looking for is a retest down here of the upper line of this shorter term fork that I added at the beginning of the week at 68.25. There's that 68.25 number again. Doesn't look like this energy point is going to come into fruition. It is due, today or tomorrow or Monday, but right now we're holding above this upward fork, and it doesn't look like it's going to come into play. We're just going sideways on the daily here. Taking a look at the intraday trend, how we are coming into the market right now. On the 4-hour chop, we had nice little tech gap here. Here's beautiful. Look at this tech gap, Mr. Sneaky gap close. Now we're above the 9 and the 20. We closed out a naked cross right here, and so far we're holding above. But it's basically sideways on the 4-hour. No discerning trend on the 4 hours. Taking a look at that too. Nice little tech gap and a tech gap close, but we are below the 9 and the 20. We have a naked cross up on the 30-minute at 74, so keep an eye on that. But again, no actual trend on the 30-minute. On the 5-minute, we did have a downward trend. Then we had a tech gap, FUBAR, Mr. Sneaky. Look at, I was talking about this the other day. I forget, was it Monday or yesterday? Or I'm sorry, Tuesday or yesterday that I was talking about. Watch these tech gaps, especially when you get a FUBAR, a Mr. Sneaky tech gap, and then we closed that tech gap, and we're just chopping right now. So, we've had a downtrend on the 5-minute, but they tried to invalidate it, and now they're coming down and testing the 9 from above. But basically, I would say that the overall 5-minute trend is down right now. Taking a look at the big picture on the composite, all right, so we have this, and this chart is getting a little bit, oh, give me a break. This chart is getting a little bit messy because I'm watching a lot of different levels, so just bear with me right now. Currently, we are above, see what I was talking about, that Mr. Sneaky to get long. There's your 70-50. We're above the 68.25 level, and that's key level today. So mark that on your chart. It's the naked VPOC. Naked VPOC from yesterday is 68.50, but you got to use this as your line in the sand for being long or short today. Above it, you want to be long into the 69.75. Is that shifted to 70? It has, hasn't it? It was 67.75. Now it is, well, no, it's still 69.75. That's your first target to get funded above 68.25, but the big target is this 72.50 CHVN, and then above that you've got the 75, the microcomposite VPOC, and I should just check to see if that is still 75. It is still 75. The overall value area, sorry, I'm running late, so I don't know why this is still not all set up. Just let me get this moved over. All right, so the overall microcomposite is still down at the 64.75. That is also our composite VPOC going back to October the 9th, 2013. So that's a very strong magnet. If we get below 68.25, you want to get short into the 64.75. But I think we're going to go higher today. Personally, I think we're going to come up and we're going to test the 79 value area high. The overall value area for the bigger picture is 75.75. So above that, we're going to break out of this value area that we've been in since February 21st through to yesterday. And then we've got the shorter time frame, and I'm actually going to take a look at this a little bit differently now that we've moved. I want to see it doesn't change. Well, it does change. It goes to 70.75, so I got to add a second profile in here. Just let me do this again. I didn't have time to do prior analysis. I want to see where they were holding value right here, which is that 75, and then we've got the the breakout from going down all the way down to that prior VPOC, microcomposite VPOC at 0750, came up, accepted value in the 43.75, then came back up into the overall microcomposite and composite VPOC at 64.75, and coming up and trying to hold value in the 75. The big number above us is 81.50. So if we break above 78.75, look for a test of the 78.75, with the big number being 81.50. Below 68.25, you just want to get short into the 64.75 and likely come down. There's that 61. I keep saying 61.50 now. It's 61.25, and the other side of balance around 64.75 is the 59.50 CLVN, but the big number I'm watching below us is 55.25. That was what our lower end hypothesis for the day was yesterday. We did go down to 54.50, so I wasn't exactly correct. I was 3 ticks off at 55.25, and then below 55.25, you want to watch this level right here at 50.75. I keep saying 50.50, and then 49.50 with the other side of balance down here at 45.25 with that 43.50 naked microcomposite VPOC down there. And then below that area, below 45.25, I really think that we're going to get into this triple distribution. And what are the numbers, people? 35.25, 29.50, and 25.25. I sound like a broken record these days, but we'll come down here and just chop around there once we break below this 45, because we're going to break below this range low. It's actually 39.75. Remember, below 39, you've got the open of the year at 37.75. That is your first target, but I believe below that 45, we're going to see this triple distribution again. So let's take a look at the overnight. Start moving our numbers over. Okay, thought that was my intraday chart. Just let me get this set up here. All right, so the overnight low is, the overnight high is 76.50, just above our range high from yesterday. All right, and then our overnight low is 68. Just below the naked VPOC from yesterday, and currently our overnight VPOC is 74.75. Does it look like it's going to change anywhere? Not likely. Maybe 74.25, but it'd have to trade a lot there. So we're just going to go and put it at 74.75. All right, so we can get rid of this. We can do this. All right, so we're currently trading 71. We've got 72 above us. Our value area for yesterday high is 71. Our value area low is 61. 10-point value area. So we're gonna, if we open up, up here, you've got an LVN yesterday at 72 that, I would consider to be your a good area. If you're not already long off the 68.25 CLVN as a good area to get long on. Because why? We're going to be outside of value and above that LVN, and you've got the HVN from yesterday at 73.75 with the we didn't quite hit that naked VPOC that's still out there. What day was that? That is from Friday. That was from the 5th, so that was Monday. So we have our Monday naked VPOC and naked close at 76.50. So if we get above this, 72, you got the CHVN at 72.50, but you really can't scale there. but you would want to get scaled before you get to 7350 with the likelihood of going and testing the range high from Tuesday, and then you get naked VPOC and the naked close up there, and then the overnight high is up there as well. Inside of value, you have a retest of 68.25 CLVN and the naked VPOC at 68.50 and the overnight low at 68. So you got some pretty decent levels to trade off of this right now. If you didn't get long above the 68.25 when I first came on here. So I'm going to use this 72 as a trade area. It's going to be like yesterday. I can get long above it, but I got to wait until we get inside of value at 71 to get short. And the key point here is you got to get funded before, funded meaning scaled, you got to get scaled before you get to that 68.25. But you know, inside of value and inside a range, I'd be looking for a retest of the 68.50 and a takeout of the overnight low and a test of the 68.25. Now I'm going to use 68 itself as a trade zone. In fact, you know what? I'm going to use that 67.75 or 67.50 as my level, because below 68.25 and below the overnight low, I'd be looking for a rotation back down to what would be our main target below us at the composite VPOC and the microcomposite VPOC here at 64.75. So this is our main target inside of range and inside of value. It would be a target if I could put it on my chart. There we go. And again, I've been using 68.25 as a key level, but I want to be below 67.50 before I get short. I've got to be above 68.25 to get long, but it's going to be choppy in this area because this is the main distribution from yesterday. Below the 64.75, you want to look for a rotation and that 61 level with the 61.75 range there. So that's going to be a target below and the other side of balance, and I'm just going to put it at 61.75. Below that, you're breaking below value, but I'd be looking for responsive buyers to step in and hold us inside of value. But below that 61.50, your target is 59.50. It is a target, but it is also a trade area, 59.50, and below 59.50, you've got that 55.25, which is going to be really pushed down to this 54.50 range low. That will be the next target below, and below the 54.50, then you've got the 49.50. I didn't even have to move these. The 45.50, the 43.50 as a target, and then 37.75 year open, and the naked VPOC at 36, and just bringing that down. Whoops. Below 39 again. I'm just going to mark them on the chart just as I keep doing. We've got the 35.25, $29.50, come on. Oh, this is impossible lately. $29.50 and $25.25. And my huge line that I'm watching is this 21.50. Below 21.50, I'm going to call 1800 as the main target below 21.25. So that's to the low side. To the upside, what do we have? We have a target above, which is our main target, which is going to be our naked close at 74.25. You've got the range high at 75.75, naked VPOC 76, and the overnight high at 76.50. There's really not a lot above us right now until we get up to this 85.75 range high in the smaller microcomposite. You've got 75, you've got 78. So 78 will be the first target. This is going to be a trade area breakout above the overnight high and range and value, all these things that are here, with the 80.50 area for responsive buyers, 81.50, that's the 81.50 microcomposite where they tried to hold value after making that 92.50 all-time high. So that's the target above us, 81.50. And then there's really nothing above us until we get to 86. I'm going to bring this down to 85.75, and then the big number and the extended target to the upside is going to be that all-time high at 92.50, and then the centennial number up here at 1900. And if we get into 1900, look for the rule of 10 to play out and go to 1910. So that's what we're looking at. I think that what time is it? 9:13 Eastern. So we're going to look like we're going to open up inside of value and inside of range. So look for them to take out the, if we stay below this 72 area, look for them to take out the overnight low and the naked VPOC and test that 68.25. Which is a key level. And then if they break below that, stay short until you get into that main magnet below us at 64.75. But if they come up and break above the 72 on the open, look for them to go and take out the naked close and these key levels and test the range high from yesterday. And I think if we get outside of value from yesterday, that we'll get a move up to test that that 80.50 and 81.50 up here. So once we get above range, and really that's going to call the day to me. If we get above here, then I think we get a continuation move up into that 85, 86 level and possibly go and challenge that 92. But if we stay inside of value and inside of range, then I think we get just chop again and probably a push down to test that 59 area and at least that 61.50 area, 61.25 value area low. Let's take a look at what that looks like on the Keltner right now. Oh, that's the TF, sorry. So currently right now we're below the Keltner center line, which is at 72. There's that level right there. See how that sets up for a long or a short. Below there, if we hold below the Keltner center line, a push down to test the lower Keltner line will take us down to that 66.25, but by the time we get there, I really think it's going to be that 65 level. Above the Keltner center line, a move up to test the upper Keltner is going to take us up into that 78, which is our first target above range and above value. So you can see how that plays out. Let's just take a really quick look at gold. Gold, we've got this big cup and handle. This freaking handle just does not want to just getting chopped about inside of the 38.2 and 61.8, but it's still a valid cup and handle until we break below that, to me, the number is below that 1258 level, but we are seeing some weakness in gold. I said yesterday that if we got below that 1300 again, that we're likely to come down. And let me just bring it up here. GC composite, there we go. That yesterday I said if we got below the 1300, we're likely to come down and test this 1284. We got down to 1286. What was it? What was the low? 1285. So sue me that we didn't get all the way down to 1284. What was it? 1284 even? 1284 even. I still think it's going to act as a magnet as long as we're below this 1300, but the key level you want to watch right now is this 1288. Above 1288, look for rotation up to that 1292, 1293. That was our first target below the 1300 yesterday, and then of course, a move, and this shouldn't even be here anymore. I'll move up to test that, CLVN at 1298.40, but the key number is going to be the centennial number at 1300. And above 1300, you've got the microcomposite VPOC. Let's see if it just changed. It didn't. At 1302. So above 1300, get long into 1302 and 1304, and above 1304, then you've got that 07, 09, and the big number above us, which is 1350, and the current microcomposite range high. Below this, this 1280, is it 1288? Below this 1288.50, then we're going to be pushing down to see if we can find some buyers down here at this 1284. I thought we were going to get there yesterday, and we didn't quite get there. And then you've got below 1284, the value area low is 81.80, but I'll be watching the CLVN here at 81, and below 81, I think we get stuck in these wicks down here, and we'll chop around with the main target below being this 1274.50 and this 1265, and that still keeps this longer term cup and handle validated. So we don't know, this is just chop down here, and a reversion to the mean to that 1284. Let's take a look at Russell. I've been doing a lot of Russell this week. I need to take a look at where we are on the big picture here. Look at this this candle right here. This is the RTH candle for the Russell, and this shows me that we're likely to get a push up to test this 1109 today. And above 1109, you've got 1111 and 1115, and that's the key level that I'd be gunning for above this 1109. And then the composite and the overall longer-term microcomposite, going back to what was it? 0404, so April the 4th, through to, and we'll just bring yesterday's candle in here because it's not going to make a difference. The overall microcomposite is 1120.10, but you've got the composite VPOC, and this VPOC goes back, same as my other composite chart, to 910.13. And it's 1121. So above, I would use 1109 as your line in the sand for the Russell. Above 1109, 1111, 1115, and the big number being that 1120 with the other side of balance. And the key line in the sand or resistance above us is going to be 1132. And above 32, you've got 35, 39, and this distribution around that 49 level, but I'd be using 48.60 as your target. Just front run this distribution zone here. So that's what I'm looking at. Where are we trading? Let's just take a quick look. We're still above 68 and a quarter. We're going to get some chop in here. Use that 72 on the open. If we come up and you see responsive sellers stepping in there, you could take the short once we get inside of value at 71 area and get short into the 68.50 and a test of this key CLVN at 68 and a quarter with a possible continuation if we break below at 64.75, 65 area. Above 72, look for them to take out the naked close and test the range high, naked Deepak, overnight low, and all those good targets above us. So that's going to be it for me. I'm not going to stick around this morning. I've got lots going on my plate. So as always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.